PS Too Many Games.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of PS Too Many Games. This is episode 3 of the collector's line of episodes, if you will. We will be talking regional price differences and how to maintain your games. Simply put, I've been wanting to do this for some time, but I wanted to do a bit more research rather than just like guess things, because I want to be more accurate in what I tell you, if you will. Price differences between regions is quite interesting. We're going to basically talking between the PAL region, Europe, and the American region, NTSC, I think is what the American region is called. Anyway, North American region. There are some significant price differences for some games I don't understand, and it goes either way, where European version is more expensive, or what I tend to find more often, the American version is more expensive. We're going to go into that. Also, when we start talking about the maintaining your games, you'll see shortly that I've changed a few things, because disk rot is a concern. Luckily, I haven't even seen one sign of disk rot, but for games that are, some of these games are literally like 23 years old, some of them. And obviously some of them are at least 10 years old, because PS2 pretty much died in 2014, or yeah, so 9 years old, if you want to be pedantic. So we're going to just go through it one by one, so let's get going, if you will. So we'll start with maintaining games. There's a couple of simple things you can do to avoid disk rot. What is disk rot? Disk rot is basically when your CDs start to basically corrode. If anyone doesn't realise, CDs have four layers of protection. You've got the bottom layer, which has all the disk information. Then you've got a layer just above that, which is there to completely protect that information from any kind of hard scratches. Then you've got like 2 layers above that. Any kind of scratch to the disk, and we've all accidentally scratched discs, can cause issues. Obviously, most notably, your games will not play. But like, they can also cause corrosion if left unattended for a long, long time. And they will also, once they corrode, they will be completely useless. So, as you can imagine, with some of these games, which tend to be reasonably expensive, you want to maintain them to the best quality. So what simple things can you do? It might sound stupid, but if you have CD-based games, try to stand them as vertically as possible. If you notice above me, I've had to basically change this. So it was standing vertically, but I've now moved the case horizontally, and as you can see, games most expensive to cheapest now goes from left to right. As you can see, I've recently done it because obviously Project Hero Zoo was a recent ad from about 2 weeks ago in Yarmouth. So that's one basic thing you can do. Also, it might sound real stupid, store your games in dry places. Dampness can affect everything, and as you can imagine, dampness might so much not affect CD-based games, but like cartridge games it will like generally affect. So, for instance, if you remember from a long time ago, I bought a Star Wars Rogue Squadron N64 game, and obviously they are cartridge-based, so obviously the bottom bit is the only thing that really matters for the game to play. But storing that in a damp place would be a horrific move, especially since there's no box to maintain it. As you can see, the one thing I can't do, because this horizontal stand was made for DVDs, and there's no way I suppose I could put it on top of there, but that thing weighs a metric ton, and if I put it on some of these frames, remember that these frames were built by me, by the way, I can't guarantee they're going to stay up. Actually, I could put it on top of the platinum frame. That's probably my best build yet, if you will. I can do that, if you will. Other basic things, just treat your discs with respect. When I was younger, pretty much I treated things not with the greatest of respect. And there are some games I had to throw away, but as you can imagine, the last 2 to 3 years, I have basically seen what I've got, like not even like everything I own, and try to maintain it the best way. And sometimes you make mistakes. You've got to learn from those mistakes. And I made a few mistakes as a child, especially with some of the games that are now worth worth like £20 upwards. I had a few to throw away, if you will. I wish I could show you like disc rot, but I've never had a disc totally rot out yet. So yeah, guys, basically maintain your games. It might sound stupid, but you'd be surprised the amount of people who just straight up do not do that.
Everybody got that?
One. Before we go any further, I just want to state that as of this recording, the swap shop happened 2 days ago, so this is Tuesday the 1st of August, to be perfectly honest. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Anyone who tuned in, thank you very much. I will shortly be uploading the stuff I'm going to try and swap on the Facebook page very shortly, hopefully. And I would happily do that again sometime in the future. But it's generally nice now, because I've only been doing obviously YouTube since late February, so we're now into our 5th month, and the amount of like other retro collectors that have been not only friendly but have helped me out with certain like questions and queries has been outstanding. So for anyone who's ever helped me or helped Dave, thank you very much. You know you are. Obviously, thank you for Retro Chef for giving me quite a lot of help in the last month or so with just sharing random videos. I immensely appreciate that. You know I do. Strange enough, you'll probably watch this. He asked the question on the swap shop, when did we start? Apparently late February, so it's just been 5 months. So it's been quite a good 5 months, and hopefully it's going to be quite a few happy years, if you will. While I was on the swap shop though, we did go watch some old like gaming adverts that hold up quite strongly how good gaming adverts were in the past. So I'm going to try a new like segment on the show. Halfway through the episode, we're going to show like one real old school advert that I genuinely love and adore. And it won't just be PS2 related, it'll be like anything Nintendo wise. So for this episode, I'm going to go with one of my personal favourites. Obviously I didn't watch it as a boy, but I found it about 15 to 16 years ago on YouTube. This is a genuine advert that was released in Japan for the SNES game Link to the Past, or Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. This is quite a strange advert, but actually kind of works. Enjoy.
ゼルダの伝説出る出る出る出るついに出るゴージャス今度の冒険リアル君もすぐに体験憎いでやんすね昆虫症高画質の謎解きアクション戸惑うことなくのめり込もうもちのろんスーパーファミコン真剣勝負今宵もゼルダは最高潮スーパーファミコンゼルダの伝説出るついに出る
Such a weird advert, and yet it still makes me smile. just the dance moves, mate. The dance moves. Anyway, let's get on to the main event of this episode.
It's about time. Oh.
So, price differences between us and the Americans is quite interesting, for instance. Well, I'll go into some few games, but there's certain games you would never guess in a million years the Americans pay through the nose for. And while researching this, there was one game especially that I was stunned to find. Now, this game only cost me £20 about a year ago, but Futurama, you're going to be paying at least 3 figures. We're talking like $100, $130, $40 for a loose copy of this. In the box, I'm guessing $175. I have no idea why Futurama is so expensive. As you can see, I paid £10 for this last year. And in America, it's literally I'm going to assume it's a very rare game. If any Americans do watch this channel, and I know there is a few Americans that do, can you please elaborate? Is it because of the frame rate? Because obviously PAL is slower frame rates than all American games. Is it because there was just less copies sold in America, so it's just a much rarer game? I don't understand why Futurama... Sorry, I was going to throw it in. I don't understand why Futurama is such an expensive game. And that's not the only game. It's like weird. It's like, for those of you who remember like one of the first episodes, I own all 4 Hacks. Hacks is a Japanese RPG that was brought over to America and up here, based on I think the anime show. I need to play them because I really want to go from 1 to 4. For some reason, the last Hack, which over here I paid 75 at the time. It's actually come down in price, like £65. Over there, you're paying at least $200. You're paying at least $200 for that Hack 4. Bear with me a second, let's go find it. Professionalism. I haven't got it. Yeah, you're paying at least like $200 for Hack Quarantine in America. Once again, I would like to know why. Why is this game so much valuable over in America than it is here? It can't be just limited quantities, because I'm assuming they got just as many games made for them as we did. Because I can't imagine the PAL version would be more significantly popular than the American version. Just one of those things. But obviously it goes 2 ways. There are certain games over here that are far more expensive than they're over there. And as you can imagine, when I found out Persona 3, or Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 over there, you're probably paying maybe $40 for the FES version. Then over the FES version, which I still do not own, you're going to be paying 3 figures, £100 over here. And considering the exchange rate is like 1.15, so for every £1 you're paying like $1.15, that means over there they would be paying about $120 or $130 for that game. Now, I'm probably going to put that down to probably more copies sold over there than over here for Persona 3. Another game like that, and it's a bit weird, honestly, another game like that, where you're paying more over here than you're over there, it's the second Castlevania, the one I haven't got. That's £75 over here. Over there, once again, you may be paying $40. Wish I could show you that copy, but I want to find that game. Is it Legacy of Darkness, I believe, the Castlevania I'm talking about? Once again, incredibly weird. I don't understand why. Why it's so expensive over here than it is over there. Now, some of my friends have explained, so, because PAL is obviously multiple countries, all of Europe pretty much is PAL. I suppose as all the countries, they probably combined sold more copies than the Americans would. Americans and Canadians, obviously. But being that there's a significantly large amount of people in America, and it's a far more bigger continent than the majority of mainland Europe, Russia not included, you would have thought that they would sell more copies over there, but once again, I could be utterly wrong. As you can imagine, these most expensive games over here are obviously the most expensive over there. Kuon, Kuon, that is, I think, their most expensive game. I think you're paying $700 over there for that, so £600. So that's more expensive over there than it is over here, but you're paying about £300 over here for that. Corner CX, by the way. We're using CX as base loose figures here for the PAL version. By far the biggest difference in price from us to America is Haunting Grounds. Now, you know I picked up Haunting Grounds about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I paid £60 British, right? In America, for a copy that is obviously in a box with a manual, you're paying at least $300. So that is roughly £280 to £270. So I would really like to know why the American version is worth literally 4.5 times the British version. Bearing in mind in the last 2 or 3 years this has gone up in value immensely. The American one must be utterly insane if you're going to pay that for that. It must be a rare game. But I'm missing one aspect here, and I've been involved in this. Apparently COVID really increased prices in America for any like PS2 games, like massively. There was price spikes and they've just been going up since. I could be wrong about that. Please tell me if I'm wrong, any American viewers. I would appreciate that, but I've been told that COVID really increased prices. The same way over here that Pokemon cards massively increased in price because of COVID. As with Pokemon games, you're not getting a mainland Pokemon game over here for anything below £50 to £60 anymore. Obviously, we're talking about like reasonably old ones. You're going to be paying high end. And obviously for anything like Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, which I own by the way, you're going to be paying at least £200. And obviously any kind of like sealed original boxes, you're going to be paying some good money over here too. I don't know what it's like in America, but over here you're going to be paying like 3 figures for a lot of Pokemon games these days. That's just the way it is. I understand that as the world we live in. But some of these prices can't seriously be justified. So you can't seriously justify to me that Haunting Ground should be worth 4.5 times over in America than it is over Britain. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm coming off a bit ignorant in that, but I just don't understand the concept of it. I really, really don't. I rarely get serious on this channel, but this time I really got serious about this. It's weird.
I'm almost annoyed.
In conclusion, the world of retro gaming prices is starting to go up like more noticeably each year. I don't know if it's for PS2. For me, PS2, I've noticed it like increasing. Obviously, because CEX hike prices because they want to make money, and sadly, what CEX says pretty much dictates some of the market. Thank God for eBay, you can still get some decent deals. But I can't imagine what it's like in America to try and complete I believe, I could be wrong, like American solo games. They had a lot more than we had. I mean, worldwide, as I understand it, there was between 5,000 and 6,000 PS2 games released. Just take that in. Take that in. Now you can imagine why I only chose PAL, where it's just the 2230. Significantly easier. And bearing in mind that some of the games over there that we never got are quite expensive, I was lucky to dodge it. But also put it into concept what I'm trying to do here, because I'm not trying to like get some sympathy. I'm just stating the fact is the most expensive game I own is Kingsfield 4. You're paying probably £90 to £100 for that. 105 at CEX, but you always take about 20% off any game, right? Call into like CEX, and there's at least 21 games worth more than that I still do not own. And obviously the main ones, Rule of Rose, Quan, I can't pronounce it, I'm going to go with Quan. And obviously, Michigan, Report from Michigan, the three main ones. You're paying £300 upwards for all three games. So that's close to £1,000 for those three games. It's going to take a long time to do this, but I am not going to stop. Unless something happens, for instance, like losing a job or getting into some serious financial problems, which probably ain't going to happen, because I don't think that I trust myself not to do anything stupid. Let's put it that way. I trust myself not to do anything stupid in life. So we're in for the long haul. It appears too many games. We're talking probably years. Hopefully 2 at a minimum. Well, probably it's going to be at least 2 years, because financially some of these games it's going to take a while to get. Yeah, just take that in. So we are just basically 950, yeah, 950 games still to find, and I'm getting maybe 15. When like road trips, I'm going to be getting like 15, 20 at a time. Some CEXs I might get 10 if I'm like local ones. We're talking Great Yarmouth, Lowestoft, Norwich. They're my 3 local CEXs. Norwich is becoming much better, by the way. I need to go back to that one because they're getting some rare games I really should get. Great Yarmouth has really done well for me. I've got a lot of my rare games from Great Yarmouth. Obviously, you saw not Forbidden Siren 2, Project 02, which I was very happy with. And Lowestoft I've been a couple of times. I bought games there. We'll go with that one. Obviously, Last Level Games have helped me quite a bit. To be honest, they have a copy of, I can't pronounce this, El Tolerino. It's a £90 game. Anyway, I'm really, if it's still there, I might pick that up sometime in the future. That's the way it is. But we're in the long haul run. Long haul run? Fuck it, I'm leaving it in. We're in for the long haul. And I hope you would continue to follow me on this journey. Because I'm genuinely enjoying doing this. Anyway, thank you for watching this. Future events. So, the London Gaming Market episode has still not come out yet. It will come out. It'll be late, but it will come out because obviously I've mentioned multiple times in different episodes about Dave moving and him sorting out his personal life, like moving his family first. That comes first every time. Fully understandable. Also, King's Lynn. We saw Wisp Beach, but King's Lynn was the main event of that road trip. I went with my friend Scott. Picked up significantly more games in King's Lynn, especially King's Lynn CEX. It is physically the biggest CEX I've been in. And it's also had the most length. They had 4 sections for PS2 games. It was quite good for me. Retro Retreat was quite good for me also. You'll see in the videos, but that's all coming up. When I do another top 10, I will do another top 10. I'm really struggling to think of anything to do. Well, that's a lie. There's certain things I would like to do, but I haven't got certain games I can't really give an honest opinion. It has to be what I've owned. So take that what you will. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please comment. I do reply to all comments. I do genuinely like having chats with people. Yeah. Professionalism running wild yet again here at PS2 Mini Games. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good evening, good morning, goodbye.